Hello and welcome to this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division with various wins for the Superstar 9-hole cup here in Golf Clash the game. Make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that are looking for guides for the 9-hole cup, the ultimate tournament guides we are providing for Expert and Master can be found on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Scan the QR code on the screen or go directly through the link that is in the description down below. You can follow the info box on the right hand side here next to Amelia, and you will get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type we suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there is always a plan behind it. So let's go to hole number 1. Hole number 8, tough wind. Sure, you can lay up on the right hand side, but I do believe going aggressive here on the drive is the way to go, because if ending up with a good drive here, this is actually a very, not simple, there is no shot that is simple in this game, but at least the shot is very makeable compared to what it is on the right hand side, which I and the team believe are very inconsistent in general. Start at top of plus 27 with extra mile level 9, and then we do have the other clubs as well, which is extra mile 8 top of plus 28 and max for extra mile 6 and 7. Adjust max plus 10 p5, and then we're pulling back a specific amount of plus yardage depending on what type of driver level you have. So I'm pulling back to plus 27. Right, it perfect. I would favor a great left over a great right. A great right may roll into the rough, and then obviously that's a bummer in terms of having a chance for the eagle. However, though, it's still an easy reach from there, and you can obviously drop the rough iron as well, but it has to be mentioned. Now, if done everything correct, we're going to find ourselves with a pin check. There could be as well a situation where you might follow drive distance, but I would go for pin check first to check, because pin check is more solid, especially when this hole is not completely linear. Now, plus 3 pin check, we are setting the top of the white ring by the fringe, and we're applying whatever backspin that gets the ball guideline 2 green squares through the hole. At plus 3, we're going to play 17% slider, minus 15% elevation, P5 numbers. And we are making the adjustment. We're going to then center the ball and do our very best to hit perfect. The perfect ball here will have a high drop rate. Again, playing with a pin check is better than playing with drive distance, because drive distance will vary slightly. I mean, you can be a little bit more left, a little bit more right, and the distance to the hole changes, but you might be at the same yardage. That's the difficult part with drive distance. At least we do have that as a backup if the drive goes a little bit too far. For hole number 2, this is going to be a tough par 3, as we're playing with such a lot of elevation. 1 topspin, 3 left spin, ball guideline to be pointed towards the hole, slightly short though. White ring by the rough line. Adjustment is then going to be max plus 50 from here. That's a lot of rings, so we're playing somewhere around 13 rings for an 8.7 miles per hour wind. So obviously playing with less, or like more wind resistance here, so less wind, that's going to be super helpful in being a bit more consistent in attacking this pin for a hole in 1. But max plus 50, center the ball and hit perfect, and a perfect ball will always be around the hole if done everything correctly, but I can't sit here and say that it's going to be in every single time. You see bounce on the fairway, we're nowhere near the rough line, so it's a safe one in that case. Just burning the right edge for the hole in 1, but I'll take it. White Cliffs is a tough par 3. Hole number 6 is always going to be a very tough par 5 to get anything else than an eagle on, but I have a very interesting approach with the new hole location that I'm going to be very pleased to show you all. 6 topspin, 1 left spin, and the reason I'm using 6 topspin is to adapt even for lower level apocalypse, so you don't have to think that, oh, I need to have an apocalypse level 7 to play this shot. Max plus 10, and we're aiming for a double bounce over the rough patch, and we are going to end up nicely on the fairway. This is an old way of playing this hole, which has always worked. It's a very nice and consistent way, and as we're doing that double bounce, it slows down the ball, and there is no risk of rolling into rough there at the top, or into the bunker for that matter. Now, sniper, we're gonna use max topspin and 3 right spin here. You can see that the new hole location is positioned more right on the green, so we can't really use the same type of roll down as we've had before, so I'm liking to go more straight at it. And you can either just go more left and bounce on the fairway, or you can actually go for a little bit more aggressive double bounce rough bomb, which is honestly a very nice way of attacking this hole. However though, bad grades will be a problem, so you're going to have to focus, and you're gonna have to hit I would say that you're gonna have to hit perfect or a great right based on where my ball is landing. Those are gonna be fine, but a great left will most likely miss the rough, and then you might have a problem even getting the eagle. But I would say that I do think that this type of play is definitely a play that increases the chance for an albatross on an already tough par 5. See, we bounce into the rough, roll down onto the green, and we're getting that one almost dead center for a nice albatross. 20% elevation, true club distance number, and as we're playing with such a narrow spot, it is very important that you are judging your club distance correctly. But once again, if you don't feel comfortable with that aggressive approach, use the standard approach, which is move more left and use more right, use all the right spin and bounce the ball up towards the green by using the fairway. For hole number 4, which is hole number 8 of the White Cliffs, this is an interesting par 4 where we have 2 ways of really playing here. Either to go like I'm doing in the video, or use the fairway island is more to the right. Using the fairway island to the right there, you need to be aware of if you roll down into the rough on the right, or a bunker on the right, you will not be able to reach for the green in 2. So I'm playing left for 2 reasons. One, I give myself a solid chance with a short iron, which is much easier to drop than the sniper. And also, second, is if I can stay on the fairway here, it's good, obviously. But if I roll into the rough on the rough or sand on the left, it's a super simple save from there, and I don't have to be alarmed about not reaching to the green. Max plus 10 was adjustment 4.5 by topspin, 3 right spin with our puck. Now, second shot's either going to be with our grizzly, or it's going to be with our short iron of preferred choice. I'm playing with my short iron in tailwinds, and this, as obviously the long iron will pull into min club, and that's going to be a mess if I then keep doing that. 4 top spin, 1 right spin. Here in the video I'm leaving the ball guideline 3 green squares short of hole. I would recommend though to leave it 2 green squares short of hole, as then we would have dropped it in this case. I'm gonna play this one from +5, play 100% slider, plus then 10% elevation, so it's max plus 10 essentially from +5. Again, ball bounces on the fairway up towards the green. We left the ball guideline too short, and that hurt us here, getting short in line, but good chance with our short iron on hole number 4. For hole number 5 in the Superstar 9-hole cup, which is also Shiruba Springs hole number 9, we are going to use a driver that gives us the most topspin possible with minimum 5.8, which is a POC 3+. And the thing is though, using a big topper or a Thor's hammer or something like that gives you way more topspin. It's definitely to be preferred, because we do want to get ourselves as far down the fairway possible. This is a pretty difficult par 5 in the sense of if you do not have wind so you can carry over the first piece of rough to start with, then you will not be able to go for the pin on the second shot. So the play we're playing here now is purely to secure the eagle, as we do not really have the wind to get there. And that's unfortunately going to be the case for pro and expert with many of the wind directions, that even if we do have a straight tailwind, it's going to be difficult to carry over. Second shot, we're playing with the horizon. You can see there that I'm playing with a katana here. Obviously, it's not needed. But what I would like to say though is that we do need to have a side spin 3 ball minimum, because the side spin 3 will help us especially on the second shot. So Kingmaker Katana is a perfect choice to have. And using the Horizon here allow me to use a lot of topspin as well, but you can play with the Big Dog, Cataclysm, or any of those type of clubs that do have a lot of topspin per default. So kind of like use the wood club that gives you the most topspin. And after that you look at the accuracy, because obviously you do want to be able to hit great on the second shot and not be punished for that. No elevation, true club distance, gonna be around medium distance most of the case. And here it's better to go short than long, because you can see that it slopes down at the end of the green, and that could put you into the rough if you are unlucky. So rather go short than long and secure your eagle. Hole number 4, Oasis. This is a tough par 3, but I think we have found something really good here. We're gonna play a rough bump. It's only going to be 6 backspin, and we are then going to move to look at the left side of the yellow ring to be just by the darker rough patch, and then we're gonna move up so we can see the ball guideline just going on to the green. Because if we're backing up just a little bit here from this position, you're gonna see that the ball guideline is not gonna show rolling onto the green, and that is the important part. So once you see the ball guideline show on the green, that's the spot you're gonna be at. Adjust here is gonna be 1 to 1 minus 1.5, so this is gonna be 5.5 rings per 7 miles per hour. We're always going to pull over bullseye. Center the ball, hit perfect, and this is going to give you a good chance here for a hole-in-one. But this is definitely going to be a hole where a hole-in-one should be considered as a bonus, but with the shot we have definitely better chance than the others. For hole number 2, it's going to be the same process here for me as I would be playing on hole number 1, meaning if I do have a crosswind or a tailwind, I will play with a quarterback. If I do have a headwind, I can choose to go up to the rock if it's not a high wind strength and a direct headwind, then I will have to go with the Thor's Hammer or with Apocalypse instead. But when we're playing here to the left, accuracy is super important, because if we do hit a great ball, we don't want that to be the effect of rolling ourselves into the rough or into the sand. Max plus 10, using 2 right spin and then whatever top spin they get to have the ball guideline as per the video, which is somewhere around 2 to 3 bars. Now, second shot is going to be very similar to what we have had before, even with the older hole location. It's more, however though, it's more located right than it was before. But as we're having a side spin 3 ball, we can definitely get around the bunker in a very nice way. And I truly like this spot a little bit better than before, because it looks more flat and it looks less bumpy. This shot here, I would play from max line. I would play max plus 20. But as we're not in max line, I do make a little mistake to not reduce my adjustment in the way that I should. And I will, in this instance, miss just left. I need just 0.1 less and would have gotten the drop. But it's the sniper here, and obviously there is value to reduce the wind as much as possible by using a Kingmaker. But for those that have already calculated that out, you don't have to play with a Kingmaker. You can use a Titan instead, and to a stretch you can use a Katana also. Very close for a drop. Hole number 2 is definitely a tough one, regardless if we have this new hole location or if we have the old hole location. Whitecliff hole number 7, which is hole number 8 in the Superstar 9-hole Cup. Here, the Rocket is the club to play with here, in my opinion. Now, using 7 backspin and 3 right spin from an NMT position. What my goal has been here with this type of play is to try to remove as many things from the adjustment as possible, meaning the difficult parts. So that's why hole spins together with the NMT position leaves us to only do the adjustment after that. What I would say though is using a little bit more backspin here would have been giving the shot a little bit of a better chance to drop. Ball comes in with the 3 right spin, using a little bit of curl as well to the right, as you saw. But what needs to be said on this hole is like, don't go long, because going long here will give you a really long pot, and that's going to be just crap to get, and that might make you miss and risk leaving here with a par. You will have to be clear with that the majority of your opponents will have a birdie here, and there will be more pars than there will be hole-in-ones. For hole number 3 of the Shiruba Springs, which is hole number 9 in the Superstar 9-hole cup, we're gonna play with the rock here. 5 topspin, 2 left spin. If you do not have 5 topspin on your rock, which you don't have on rock level 7 for an example, then go with Apocalypse instead. Adjust max no elevation, and I'm playing with a P5 ball here. What I would recommend though, if you do have a wind that is anywhere from right to left on your drive, go with the P5 ball that gives you the most wind resistance. If you have wind coming left to right in any way, I would recommend to go with a ball like the Berserker ball that gives you very little wind resistance. And the reason for that is the second shot. Because if having left to right wind on your drive, you're going to have tailwind on the second shot, then you would benefit from having less wind resistance, because then the ball can carry further. If you have a wind, again, coming right to left of tee, then you have headwind, and then you would benefit from having a lot more wind resistance on your ball. Adjust max plus 10, all the topspin you can, together with some left spin. Use curl to compensate if anything, and the ball rolls up nicely. From here, we're going to have a wedge that plays Embering a School with a plus a 10 E5, and preferably no spin if that's possible. Look for glitch spots and make sure to avoid them. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division with various wind for the Superstar 9-hole cup. And this playthrough is to help you throughout the 9-hole cup, not just for the qualifying round, not just for the final round, but for both rounds, that I do explain in the best possible way on how to attack not many, but all these holes that is in the Superstar 9-hole cup. If you do want to do as more than 2,000 people have done already to improve your game even more, go to patreon.com/golfclashtom. You can also scan the QR code here on the side and get to see all our packages. Sign up and start improving your game already today. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck in your Golf Clash game.